Many of us have actually come to experience how meaningful male-female relationships can be in different spheres of life. Many others are not there yet. For some people, this is still a very controversial idea, a risky one, a dangerous one. Now, I know that you grasp both sides of that, but maybe you can speak to why is it that we still fear male-female relationships? And then what's the risk or disadvantage of not actually seeking to mature in our sibling status?
Right. So, I mean, I think a lot of the pushback is because we want to take sin seriously.
Yeah.
And that is very important. And we want godly marriages. Also very important. And I think that, I'm trying to make the case of why then we do need to be friends because of this. We want to take sin seriously. We want to, and I think this is where in communication and disagreement, we have to be careful to represent one another's sides well.
Yeah.
And so, there'll be people who say, so you're saying that, a man can just go on a candlelight dinner with you and that's okay. Or, he can give you a ride to a hotel room and that's okay. And that's not what I'm saying, especially when we're framing all of our decisions that we're making with trying to promote one another's holiness.
Yes.
It goes back to, what does friendship mean? Does friendship mean what Billy Crystal says when Harry met Sally? Well, then no, we can't be friends, can we? But if friendship means promoting one another's holiness, if friendship means all the wonderful ways it's used in Scripture, then yes, we actually are called to do that. And we are also called to take sin seriously. So I do think that that's very important. I spend a whole chapter on taking sin seriously and on these healthy marriage issues, because my parents got divorced. There was an affair. I know the weight of that and the pain of that. And I would never, want to promote anything on that end of things or crossing any kind of lines. And I talk about discernment a lot in the book because I think it's very important. But we can also fall into this whole mindset with this men and women can't be friends thing, is that our spouse is supposed to fulfill all of our emotional needs. And that is a burden that is too heavy for them to bear. And I think that there's been a lot of problems in marriages in the church because of this, especially, and I think we're going to talk more in a little bit about the purity culture, but especially with this kind of prosperity gospel that we've been given about marriage, that if, we withhold ourselves and are perfectly pure and, maybe court instead of date or whatever it is, do, check all these boxes, that we are going to have this wonderful marriage and this fabulous sex life and, everything's going to be great. And there's been a lot of despair over those who believed that message and worked hard for that and either never even had any good relationships to get to marriage because it's so hard to, everything's so over sexualized, or they have a huge letdown because they realize that they've put all this weight on each other as spouses that they just can't bear. So I do think that there are some great, and I talk a little bit in the book, great communication ways we can improve in our marriage. My husband works with a lot of women. He is works in an elementary school. So, we've had to communicate, we've been married for going on 25 years now. So we've had to communicate about honoring one another in our relationship, in our other relationships. And what does that look like? And these are ways that we're going to grow then. So that's what my answer to this really is that relational growth matters. And the way that we view one another matters. And simply withholding any kind of care or friendship from somebody actually stunts our growth. It doesn't promote our growth.